What's up everyone, it's Gabby Trades and welcome back to the channel. Well, the pullback that we prepared for in the last live stream unfolded over the last couple of days. Now, the question is, what are we doing now? Today, we're going to review the levels for alts and assess what could potentially the weekly close give us. Now, there are a couple of red flags that I'm eyeing for actually as well. But you guys, before we jump in, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe if you're new here, and hit the bell notification so you always get notified when I'm live here with you, giving you the latest price breakdowns. Now, all right, you guys, so first we're going to break down what's going on in the world of the markets, and I'm going to keep it super simple as usual, I promise. And welcome everyone. Hi Z Trader, hope everyone is doing well. And hope we're good on sound as well this time. Now, first up, I want to talk about some big trade talk news. Now, the US is working out a deal with the European Union where they're planning a 15% tariffs on imports from Europe. Now, that's way better than the higher rates that were threatened before. So markets are generally happy about that. We already saw a similar deal happen with Japan recently, and these back-to-back deals are making the markets chill out a little bit in regards to the global trade drama. So today also we have very important news that came out. We have the US jobless claims, and here unexpectedly falling again. Now, this is actually surprising, right? Because jobless claim in the US have been falling for the last 6 weeks straight, even though a lot of people, including me, expected them to rise. That then will mean that less people are applying for unemployment, which is a good sign for the job market in the US. It is a sign that the job market is not crashing yet. So what else do we have today also in terms of news? We had the flash PMI. Wait, I think I need to refresh that over here. Okay, that's interesting. Now, flash manufacturing PMI and flash services PMI. So that's basically a report card on how well the businesses are doing, and in this case, also the services. Now, this is a very, very interesting reading because as you can see, we had expectations or forecasts of, can you actually see the numbers? Let me just make sure you can see the numbers. Yes, you kind of can. So we had an expectation for 52.7, and just 15 minutes ago, in fact, I'm checking this out with you right now, we're getting 49.5 on the flash manufacturing PMI. So that is not good. Anything below 50 you get, it's not a good reading. So I was expecting a good reading on both. However, services seem to be doing well. Now, in terms of services, that means we'll be looking at stuff like tech, finance, healthcare. That means they're still growing because the number is higher than expected. So we were forecasting 53, we're getting 55.2. So that means that this is good. And overall, you guys, also in Europe, all these reports are looking good. And speaking of the European Union as well, by the way, they decided not to mess with the interest rates over there right now. They're really playing it safe because I think personally it is because of they're waiting to see what happens with the whole US-EU trade situation. So they decided not to do anything in regards to the rates. What else that's important right now to look at? Obviously, we are in the midst of an earnings season right now. So we were waiting for the Google revenue to come out, and it was good, right? We had 14% up on Alphabet for Q2 2025. Now that's very, very good, and it's a super solid result, which is making the markets optimistic regardless of the mixed signals that we're getting out there. Now, I'm not going to mention Tesla because Tesla was very disappointing in terms of earnings, but overall, the market is kind of feeling okay in terms of the TradFi. With crypto, we're seeing the pullback right now, and we're going to discuss why and how we were prepared for that. You guys, if you've been watching my streams from the beginning of the week, you should have been prepared for all of this that unfolded right now. Now, let's see who's in the chat here. We have Z Trader, Starway, Mr. MG. Hello, everyone. So glad to see you. Yes, that's great. Good day to you all. Good day. All right, we're not going to waste any more time. We can quickly look at the crypto sector overall. Obviously, we're pulling back, so you're going to see a lot of it on red right now. And today, we're going to assess what is actually happening over here. So, first of all, as usual, we start with Bitcoin, you guys. Hello, geopolitics now. We start with Bitcoin, and you guys make sure you smash the like button if you haven't so far. So yeah, Bitcoin. Okay, focus, Gabby. Right. What are we seeing right now? Well, this is pretty much a situation that we've been in for, I don't know, since middle of July. We're finding ourselves in this range. However, this week I was expecting for price to range anyway on Bitcoin. The thing is, right, we discussed last week as well that when price is consolidating in between these two levels, according to my model, actually there is so many trades that you can find within this little range, you guys. And by the way, if you want to learn the techniques that I use and my range theory model, make sure you click on the video over here.
Want to learn something useful?
And you come down in the description box and you just slide a little bit lower, and you can get access to my trading strategy course waitlist down here. And you can also follow my personal YouTube channel where I get more breakdowns like this in depth in case you like the content that I'm making for you guys. All right, so moving on, Bitcoin. In the current range right now, the situation is the following. If price is extremely weak, which is what is showing right now, but at the same time is showing strength, this is a range pretty much. So from here, right, what I was expecting and what I would ideally find very, very suiting is if price rejects, as it should, from the 0.5 that it's holding right now, and then drops down to what do we have here? Well, we have an imbalance on this current chart that I'm looking at. But then if you open the CME futures, you will see that this is the CME gap over here. So this is what I was hoping for. That for me would have been the ideal case scenario if Bitcoin dropped to that level and then showed that it's holding that level, so that I can get confident that from here we're gonna get price come up, right? And we didn't want to see acceptance below that level. Anyway, this was just speculation that is not unfolding in front of our eyes right now. Instead, what are we seeing? Instead, we're seeing the range getting tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. So what is this meaning, right? When you have a range that's getting tighter like this, usually price is going to expand to either side. Now, the way this week is unfolding, if this expansion happens, you guys, within this week that we currently find ourselves in, I would consider the following move a manipulation move right now. And I don't know why, but earlier I had pulled the volume profile over here. So let's look at it together. Actually, I don't even think I had enough time to look at it, but it's very, very simple, right? Volume profiles, how you read them. You have the point of control over here. You have value area high over here. You have value area low, a little bit lower of the range. In that case, very, very low. So basically, right, all of the area here that is highlighted is where most of the trading, 70% of the trading took place. Anyways, so let's say if we continue up from here and we decide to retest the value area high, we also have a support slash whatever. It's actually resistance at this point. It's never been support. At 123.020, sorry. Are we going to get a tap into this level? Are we going to reject from the value area high and then drop? These are all scenarios that are possible for Bitcoin, but we have to keep everything in mind as a possibility over here. And also, most importantly, we do not need to forget that we have the monthly close that is happening, right? The monthly close. So we're closing a monthly candle right now. Okay, so that means we need to assess the weekly profile over here. We're seeing absolutely nothing in terms of the weekly profile. In terms of the monthly profile, right, we're already seeing a pullback over here. So it's quite normal for price to range at these levels, right, after an expansion such as the one that we saw. All right, what else did I want to say about Bitcoin? Yes, so the most important things I mentioned, the CME needs to hold. If it doesn't hold, it's going to get ugly. If we get an expansion to the upside, we might see a rejection over here at around the 0.786 area, maximum up to the support here / resistance at 123062, right? So that is two possibilities on Bitcoin. Now, Ethereum, I want to move on fast because I want to have enough time to talk to you about a lot of stuff. In terms of ETH, right, we had the confirmation for a short at the beginning of the week. In fact, when did we get it exactly? We had Monday we had the confirmation short for Ethereum. So I took the short down here, and I tried to explain to you guys in the previous live stream what are the levels to look at for Ethereum. So here we are. We have reached the first take profit over here, right down here. Why? Because this is the daily support level. Now, if I open the daily chart over here on Ethereum and I remove my marking, you can see that this is an area that I get with the help of my indicators. Again, you guys, these indicators are super helpful, and they're pretty much 50% of everything I use for my trading. You guys, again, you can find them under the description box of this video. Get my trading indicators. Just go ahead, check them out. I've even made a video on my YouTube channel on how you can use them. So yeah, very, very helpful. Anyway, we're finding ourselves at that level right now, and price is rejecting from it, which is really, really nice. However, the bearish order flow here that we're getting, in my opinion, from very specific levels, I want to keep very close attention to. Why? Because we had the short confirmation over here, and we had a retest over here of the level. And then once we started dropping down here, I want you to notice that we left an imbalance over here. Right? Again, with my indicators, I can open it and I can see it. Here we go, 4-hour time frame imbalance. Now, when price rejects from a level of interest, right, or a point of control, if you will, right, if it creates a fair value gap or a price imbalance, that is extremely important for you to track that level, because now that we have such price action over here, this could simply mean another thing. This could mean that price is rejecting here naturally from the level of support, and then it comes back up and gives another retest of the level before it continues to the next level of support. So we need to be extremely careful about that, and that could mean that we could be potentially ranging for a while now. Right? This is a possibility that could unfold. Another thing that could happen on Ethereum, right? Very, very important. The fact that we dropped over here, yes, we do have a supply zone over here, right? We do have a supply zone, right, over here. However, the biggest level that I'm watching is 3,918. We haven't reached it with a hair. Like, I don't know how much. Let's have a look together. We haven't reached that level with almost 1.5%. So it could be a case of also us reaching that level, yet again, rejecting from the daily support over here, reaching that level, and then rejecting once more, because that's a historical level that I've been trading on Ethereum for a long time, right? For a long time. So I've had many sales from that level from before. So I'm telling you that this is one level that we should be watching very, very closely, because historically, right? Even over here, forget that the chart is so busy, just follow what I'm drawing for you guys over here. We had a rejection of the 0.5. Now, according to how I trade my model, when we have a rejection from the 0.5, price is supposed to exit up, right? But the 0.786 over here is very much a level of resistance. So we can see that how price failed to do that massively, right? And then it came back up, retested the 0.5 again, and then it sended. That's where I was trying to prepare you guys. This is the moment, right? Now or never over here. So now we're reaching that level again. What are we going to do over here? Are we going to sell again? What's going to happen, right? We're already pulling back even before we've reached the level. So that could simply be a little bit of manipulation before we break it. Or it could be a case of us rejecting it one more time, right? Rejecting it one more time and then failing. So we need to be watching very, very closely for that. In terms of Solana, okay, let's clear here a little bit of indicators for you guys. In terms of Solana, same thing I told you, right? Same thing we spoke about on Tuesday. Solana is at a major point of resistance. I tried to say to you, if we get Solana to break the $200, it's pretty much no stopping it, right? If we break the 200, I'll be happy. But of course, here is the pullback right now because this level is massive and there needs to be a lot of work done from the bulls over here to break that level. Jobless claim, wonton. Yes, we just reviewed the jobless claim. Yes, the news were fine in terms of jobs, but the PMI in services was great, but in businesses not so great. Anyway, so that's the case over here. And then we said, right, on Tuesday that this is the mini level that we're looking at for Solana over here, right? This was the mini level that I was looking at over here, 184.99 wicked. That's a good signal, right? It is a good signal that we're respecting the first area of support that I was trying to find. For now, it's looking fine. Let's see if we disrespect that level, because then it might mean that then we probably are going to drop a little bit further down to this a little order block we have over here, and potentially even further. Let's open the indicators and see. Now, we don't want to break below these levels because that could potentially mean that we could travel all the way. We could start free falling if this happens and return back down to levels such as $163, $64 on Solana, right? But right now, price is reacting from a breaker block over here. Here it is. That's going to be a buy breaker block. Hold on one second over here. Right, perfect tap, as you can see, to the buy breaker block, right? Demand zone over here, zone of holding, and price is rejecting. So let's see how this unfolds, right? Let's see how this unfolds, and most importantly, what we need to watch out for is whether this is going to be another area of manipulation before we get another drop down. Okay. Cool stuff, you guys. I'm so glad you're on board with everything. Great. So again, in terms of like ETH BTC, right, on Monday, right, sorry, Tuesday, we stream on Tuesday, I stream on Monday on my own channel. Again, you guys, make sure you go and follow my main YouTube channel over here in the description box. But basically what I tried to tell you is that this level over here, and even Thursday last week, I think we were discussing the same levels over here, right? This level over here. So we're looking at 0.03188 on ETH BTC. So I tried to warn you last week that once we reach this level, there is going to be some sort of a rejection from that level. Again, with the help of my indicators, I can identify that. The first buy zone we identified together on Tuesday, where price is currently reacting from. So everything is kind of matching right now. This is what I like to see. All the confluence is coming together and showing that there is some sort of strength over there. So that's important to see, right, for ETH BTC. Now, if that area doesn't hold, same thing like everything else, a bit of a free fall down here to the next area of interest, right, to the next area of interest in case this happens. USDT dominance. All right, USDT dominance, basically, again, following my model, pretty much the same thing, right? When price is consolidating around the 0.5, exits it, then you are expecting for price to exit below the sub-zero over here, which is pretty much what we saw. Now, we're coming back up at a level of what used to be support, turn into resistance, SR flip over here. So we are rejecting from it, right? You can clearly see the candle over here that it's wicking. We're looking on today's candle. It is wicking from a level of interest to me. So again, confluence over confluence over confluence. Now from here, we do want to see how price reacts. Is price going to continue here from the downside, respect the bearish order flow, or is it going to instead continue up right, and retest the 0.236 area. Why is this area important? Because there is also a big imbalance over here, right? And if we're respecting the bearish order flow, this all is going to make sense to me. So if we start breaking, let me repeat, in USDT dominance, if we start breaking above this level over here, which is 4.36%, then we're looking into 4.57% for a retest over here to then reject it. So then we continue to respect the bearish order flow and we create a new lower low. Why? Because we have, see, over here so many equal lows stacked, so we're supposed to take them, right? USDT dominance. Let's clear the chart a little bit over here. Let me know, you guys, in the chat box, how are you feeling about this week? Did you manage to catch some shorts? Are you safe with your gains from altcoins, or were you one of the people that FOMO'd in last minute and right now is not feeling that that hot? All right. What can we look at over here? Total 3, also very important. Probably I wasn't with you guys by that time. I discussed that on my own channel, but this is basically the level that I was looking at. Again, I get this with my own indicators on a monthly time frame. This liquidity level here is very, very important. It was very important for the simple reason, like when you have like liquidity formation such as this one on a weekly time frame, on a monthly time frame, you are bound to see, once the liquidity is taken, for price to reject from that level, right? So this was the warning signal that I was giving up to over here. That was December last year, and then we had the rejection from it, right? Another tap in January, and then a complete rejection. And now guess what? We're pretty much reversing back into it. So the question is, from here, this is very strong, like this is extreme strength over here. If that happens, if we continue, are we going to, right, come up again, retest that level and reject? So it's very important to watch that. But in my opinion, from here, this should be a breakage to the upside, right? Because it continues to respect bullish order flow over here. As you can see, price continues to respect that, right? Monthly bullish fair value gap over here. So to me, that needs to make new highs, and it's going to be pretty good for all of us. Dixie, something very interesting as well. You know, about dollar, one of the red flags, right? One of the red flags yesterday, we had Dixie falling, dollar was falling, gold was falling as well. Now, when usually you see gold and dollar falling at the same time, this is a sign of investors being insecure, right? Being insecure, uncertainty in the market. It just doesn't make sense. So when you see that happens, right, this is the first thing you think about. Now, in terms of dollar on the monthly, again, on a monthly, you have double liquidity formation. So again, the dollar is looking like it's going to fall. It's going to continue to fall. And we're probably going to see it in the levels that we haven't seen it for many years, right? This is also very possible. Now, one of the major red flags I'm looking at, you guys, honestly, that's very important and you need to pay close attention. I'm not sure if the crypto people around here are used to looking at the VIX, right? The volatility index, which is basically the fear gauge in the market. Now, you need to start getting used to watching these kind of things, because it's important for the overall market, not only for the TradFi, for everything, right? So now there is a huge interesting moment happening over here, because price is getting to levels, right? Price is getting to levels that are very dangerous. Now, I know we're having some geopolitical developments. I read this morning with Cambodia, Thailand, whatever, very bad. So we have to monitor these things, because that will eventually catch up with the market as well. So we have double liquidity formation over here on the VIX, which I don't like to see down here, and we're getting very close to that level, right? These are historical levels where price always, when it comes down to that level, it bounces back from it. So if we see the VIX coming up, this is going to mean that fear in the market is rising. So I'd highly recommend you guys keep a look on at that and make sure you follow what the VIX is doing. Today, APT is down 16%. Pizza Banana is saying that. Yes, okay, we're gonna, you know what, you guys, put your alts in the chat box and we're going to go through as many as we can together today, okay? Yeah, so let's look at XRP because everyone you know, is talking about XRP. Everyone likes XRP. XRP has been one of the good performance over here. So right, XRP. First thing we said for XRP, we have the buy breaker block over here where price was nicely rejecting from. In fact, you probably can't see that very well. Let's just remove it a little bit. Buy breaker block over here. First rejection over here was really nice on a daily time frame, right? Wicking situation. This is rejection. Perfect tap into the buy zone. These are all green flags one after another. So we really want to see a price going up from here. Now there is a little bit of a problematic situation over here, especially if today's candle closes the way it closes and it doesn't reverse into a bullish candle, because over here then that would mean that we're creating some balanced price action, right? That price could potentially reject from either tomorrow or at some point. So we really want to be monitoring how this is reacting from, right? Okay, we have ADA, CRV, XRP we just covered. Yeah, so in terms of XRP, let's just continue a little bit further. If in case price continues to drop down, the levels that I'm looking at are $2.83, and obviously I'm going to be looking at the 0.236 over here from my trading model, which is going to come exactly at 2.733. right? So these things you need to evaluate at a very minimum of a 4-hour time frame, right? You want to get a good confirmation on a 4-hour time frame for you guys to get a little bit more confidence in that. So for example, XRP on a 4-hour time frame, you do want to see a body close, a bullish body close below 3.1921, right? This is going to be the first indicator for me, right? If price breaks above this level over here, that we might be, even on a retrace, that we might be continuing up, right? So until we get that close, I'm not doing anything. Okay, cool. CRV, I know CRV, CRV has been dropping as well. Let's have a look real quick over here. At the levels, actually still in a range, technically cleared some liquidity down here, but very, very strong. Just tapped into it like twice, and it's rejecting over here. So CRV, pretty much same thing as all other outs, at a major level up here, major level of rejection. But to be fair, we haven't really tapped into that level with like a hair. So 0.5%, we haven't really touched the level, and we have a little bit more resistance over here. That's 12-hour time frame. Let's have a look on the daily if we're getting anything. But we're building more and more resistance right now. So there is a possibility here that we're just gonna exit to $1.1 and then reject one more time over here. Right, so we need to be watching for this very, very closely. Let's open here the indicator, see if we get any. Yes, lots of sell zones, lots of supply zones right now. So it's going to be interesting if price manages on a daily time frame, right? This is daily time frame. If price manages to put a body close above this level, which is again repeating at 1.1124. So that's the level for CRV. Yes, you guys, make sure you like the video. And if you're looking to trade all these drops, if you're looking to trade everything like that, make sure again you drop below my video down here, and you can go and see all the exchanges that I'm affiliated with that have some really cool bonuses over here. 2bit 9k trading bonus, coin catch, $150 sign up bonus. That's pretty sweet in my opinion. You can also get more bonuses if you trade on the exchange. And with Bybit, in fact, if you register, you can get an access to a Telegram group. So that means then you can get more access to myself and more of my trading alpha, right? Daily updates and things like that. I think this kind of stuff are going to be very helpful for you guys. Okay, cool. ADA, yes, I saw ADA twice, so let's have a look here. Cardano. Look at me here, knowing all the names of the cryptos. Hilarious. Okay, over here. Okay, first thing I can see is that I've left here anchored VWAP over here, assessment of the current price action. So from this link up here, the anchored VWAP is saying something that is interesting. Now the anchored VWAP is matching together with my level of support over here on a daily time frame for ADA down here. Right. So, by the way, if you're using Anchor VWAP in a situation of a bullish market, you would like to see for price to be either trading above the upper band or rejecting from the middle of the band. So anyway, here we have a little bit of a confluence with the middle band together with a daily support. So 07098, a level that I would be watching. Obviously, we have had two levels of resistance over here where price is currently rejecting from. So we obviously need to break that. Let's have a look on the weekly here. Are we getting anything? So see, this is the thing about ADA that I didn't really like, right? This is one thing that I didn't really like. And I tend to stay away from alts that are leaving liquidity to the downside like this on a higher time frame, such as the weekly. Yes, we did get close to it, quite close to it, right? One time we didn't reach it with a hair, two times we didn't reach it, creating a double bottom over here. Some traders would consider that a buy signal, double bottom over here, and would start buying from here. Me personally, I want to see price breaking specific levels, right? Now, for example, over here, we have this liquidity formation. Price broke through it substantially and then returned within, right? Traded below, then rejects again. Now this is weakness, right? This is weakness. And now we just saw literally the first signs of strength over here, but we still haven't cleared that liquidity. So it's not something that I'm quite interested in. But again, if I would like to trade that, I'll probably be looking at levels at, let's say right now, right now, because we're on a weekly support slash resistance SR flip over here that we've had a weekly close above. Again, don't forget, we had that before. I think this was probably some sort of Trump situation over here, and then we had a close above it, right? Again over here, little bit of a rejection. So that's kind of a healthy thing that I want to be looking at. Is this zone over here holding? See, we're going to mark it as well. That's weekly. So we're talking pretty much prices at this level almost right now. Yeah. Injective, very interesting. I haven't seen an Injective actually for a little bit. Probably my bad because ETH was running. Okay, Injective over here, weekly time frame. We're starting with that. So Injective is like one of the charts that I don't massively hate, right? I don't massively hate. I don't know why we're getting a delay over here, so the reason why I don't hate it is because this low over here that was created you know, in April, right? The bottom was didn't come too low, right? It didn't come very, very low. So that's a good sign. There's something that I'm looking at in alts. And of course, I'm looking for liquidity as well on a higher time frame, such as daily. So $36 Injective is something that I'll be looking out for, right? In this bull run. Now let's assess, let's get closely here into the price action and see. So here it is, April. 7th of April down here, everything unfolded. Why? Well, very simple, because that was the signal for ETH BTC that I've been giving to my community and to everyone down here. This was it. This was the moment, right? This was it. So we were very much prepared for this situation down here. Anyway, going back to Injective now, I lost it now. Now, which chart was I looking at? Which chart was I looking at? This one over here. Okay, cool. So yeah, moving in a little bit closely to examine what's the situation over here. One resistance over here, right? Very important level. As you can see here, one rejection before from that level, creating a low, second rejection, creating a higher low. And essentially now you're doing the same thing. You're doing the same freaking thing, which is really, really annoying, right? 12-hour time frame. Reviewing a little bit closely, yes, we do have a tiny fair value gap over here and a little bit of a buy zone from that break over here, but also we're reacting from a supply zone. So essentially you have a long setup, you have a short setup over here. So what do? You have to wait, you have to get a confirmation on a higher time frame for you to take any action. But clearly you can see that price is reacting from buy zone right now, right? It is reacting from a buy zone, so that's good to see. First of all, now that we're marking that, okay? And then obviously if that buy zone fails, then you start to look at levels lower, right? If this buy zone fails, now you're probably looking at $11.1, right? 11.161. If this happens over here, this is going to be probably the extreme level down here. In case we're going to hold, in my opinion, this is going to be... Now, when you get, by the way, these levels with my indicators, which again, go and get them, you guys, you know, these areas actually get wicked. More than that, they get wicked, you guys, right? So they get wicked, and if we get a wick down here, this is going to make a lot of sense to me, right? Because this is going to be over here, the other buy zone, right? Let's mark it together, another buy zone down here. All right, here. So you know, it might happen so that we come here and we wick that area and we quickly have a body close above it in case we drop, right? I don't want to be the person that is giving you guys all these icks right now. That's not my purpose. The purpose for me is to show you price right now, right? And to obviously look out, if right now fails, what are we looking at next, right? That's what makes sense. So yeah, right now at a buy zone, you want to be looking at the 4-hour time frame. Let's assess the 4-hour time frame for Injective. Delete a little bit of stuff over here. Yes, okay, cool. So yeah, you wanna start seeing body closes on a 4-hour time frame below this level over here, right? Below this level. Right below this level over here, you want to start seeing closes above $13.888, right? And you can see even here on a 1-hour time frame, this is also good. The way it's reacting, right? You have some sort of a support over here in a 1-hour time frame, and price is pretty much reversing right now with some strength. So these are all good stuff that we need to be looking out for, you guys. Amazing. Any other? You guys are welcome. You're so welcome. Let's have a look at any other coins over here. Anna, I don't like it. I don't like it. We can look at SUI. We can look at SUI. Choo. Yeah, SUI 1-hour time frame. Okay, let's get to 4-hour time frame. So the thing about SUI, again, I think we discussed it on Tuesday, but we're gonna do another repetition on SUI. So this is the level basically that I was expecting to see last Tuesday. That's what I was discussing with you guys. I want to see a strong reaction and rejection from when price starts falling down here. This is the level that I'm looking at. I told you the level is $3.5868. This is the support on a higher time frame, and of course you have the 0.5 at 3.5526. Right, so you can see price drop down, retested that area and quickly rejected, right? And if we zoom in, actually, because this is what we expected, right? When we zoom in over here, and guys, like the video if you haven't, please don't forget to do that. It really means a lot to Coin Bureau Trading and the growth of this channel, and you guys mean everything to it. So yeah, basically we were looking at this massive 4-hourly bullish fair value gap over here. Not only that, this was just one confluence. Then we have the support over here, and if you zoom in, you can see that you had several rejections actually from that support. One over here, you know, then second over here, and then with the third one, right, with the third one over here, you in fact retested the 0.5 of the trading range here for SUI, which is basically what I wanted to see. Right, so now from here on, we want to get confirmation, and in fact, as price is trading right now, it is giving us bullish confirmation. So I'm going to tell you that this current 4-hour candle that is printing is going to give us the clues. Right, this candle over here is going to give us the clues whether we're going to travel a little bit up. Now we have another resistance over here that we need to be looking out for. Right, 38710. These are the things that we need to be looking. But yeah, we have created here the liquidity down here. We've cleared the liquidity. We've tapped into support level. We've tapped into the 0.5. So is this going to be it? This is what we need to be looking out for. And the bullish confirmations, when they come, obviously they mean something, right? Obviously they mean something. Now, however, I do want to bring your attention to the fact that SUI is rejecting very, 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 very clearly, right, from a level of resistance. Again, how do I get that? With the help of my indicators. When was that level created? That level was created back in January, beginning of this year, right? Beginning of this year. Very important level. Because before the drop, you guys, before the drop over here, we came back, we retested that level. Right, retested that level in May, and then we tanked. We tanked to the 0.236, where obviously that was the best buy signal down here even before in April, right? In April, we had even a better buy signal, but then this was the second one over here, 0.236 major level, right? Beat the 12 support, retest the 12 support, send it, retest the 0.5. No, we're going up, right? But unfortunately, we're finding ourselves in between levels right now. So these things are completely normal. The tap into the resistance, in my opinion, is very clear, very clear. That's why I was trying to tell you, everything is coming close to very important levels of very important levels. But you guys, listen, I'm very happy to have you here with me, and yeah. Make sure you like the video, and if you find these things interesting, make sure to follow my main channel as well. And much love, you guys, for all of you, and I'll see you guys in the next one.